I spent the last 12 hours changing our entire sales process, and here's why you might want to do the same. So as a business owner and working with many businesses, you always know it's extremely hard to sell without going bottom up. It is very hard to sell top down. And this has been a struggle that we've had in our agency, and I've seen across many businesses. So many people want to buy the cheapest offering, which I totally get it. Everybody's budget conscious. Everybody wants to spend as little as possible to make as much as possible. It's the total game. But when time is involved, it changes things up a little bit. Kind of depending on how fast do you want to grow, might change how much you want to spend to get there. Because time is money and our most valuable asset. So what I started doing is I spent about 2 hours talking to AI. And you might say, yeah, you just plug it in, it'll tell you what you want. But I really don't enjoy how AI, and you guys can tell me in the comments what you think about AI when you have conversations with it, but it gives you very umbrella, very generic type answers. And even at the end of all this, I had some very generic and open answers. But what I did is I fed it a few things each time as kind of like a assistant or a consultant. I gave it a few ideas, I had it kick me back some information, and then I moved forward with what I felt was best. And then I utilized that information to then feed it and kind of go back and forth on that. So one of the biggest things we see at our agency is so many people just opt for the lowest package. This is because they haven't done social media, they're not sure if it works, they don't know if the ads are gonna do what they want. They might not even run ads because they're unsure of it, or they'll even cut the budget for ads completely out of it just to take the absolute cheapest path to this, which is absolutely fine. If you are absolutely budget conscious and you want to do it without any super high expectations of the results and how to get there, when we're going to get there, you know, it's kind of like going to the gym. If you go in there and you work out for 5 seconds and then leave the gym once a week, compared to the person that's going to the gym every day and spending an hour there, or maybe even 2 hours there, morning and night, they're gonna see much faster results. So when we start talking about time, that's where we have to decide how aggressive do we wanna be with marketing, with growing our business, with investing into the brand, and those types of things. So typically on a sales call for us, we would walk through information with the client, we would show them our marketing deck, we'd show them our services, we'd get a kind of an idea of what they're doing, what they want to be doing, and those types of things. And then we would show them our pricing and we would talk about our different offerings. A lot of the times we see them revert to the lower price package. This might not be the best package for them because everybody wants to spend as little as possible. We always see that happen. I saw a piece of content. It said, you know, if you have a small, medium, and large cup, a lot of people will take the medium cup. If you make the medium cup the small cup, you bring the large cup, make it the medium, and then you create a new large cup, an extra large cup if you will, most people will start to take the large cup that's now the medium cup because it's in the middle. I've been trying to figure out how do we get more clients to take that middle option, the one that's going to help them grow faster, get more awareness, be more aggressive, and to better compete with local competition on social media and digital marketing. So after spending some time with AI, I even watched a few Alex Hormozi videos, and locally, with a client of ours, we went through their sales process and I ended up purchasing. But the one thing that stood out to me is that they didn't give us any option for a lower tier plan. They gave us what we wanted, what our goals were, what we really needed, and that's the only option you could see. And then I'd assume if you didn't purchase, they will downsell a little bit. This fits perfectly into some of what Alex Hormozi says. If you guys aren't watching him, you should. The guy's a genius. So what I did after spending 2 hours with AI, I came in the next morning and I was fired up. I didn't even sleep well the night before. So I grabbed the computer and I got to work implementing this process. So I had to change our whole marketing deck. I had to change how we were going to communicate through the whole sales process by not showing some pricing up front. Although I don't mind, and we're going to play with showing a range of pricing to make sure that we qualify them before we spend 30 minutes to an hour in a discovery call with these clients. Once we know that they are qualified, the biggest thing that we're going to change in our sales process is walking through and setting up a roadmap and setting up goals for them. So we're going to go through the entire process, figure out where they want to be, even if they don't have the budget for them. Where do you want to be? Where is the most ideal situation? What would you love? Do you want to be putting out a ton of content, or you just want to be running ads and getting leads? Are you trying to build a brand? I always say, are you trying to build Nike or sell the tennis shoe? So which one are you? Are you trying to build that big business, that big brand? Are you trying to be the biggest, most well-known leader in your area, your region, your industry? Or are you good with just getting your leads, making the money you need to make, and that's what you need help with? Because these are two different games we're going to completely play with two different types of clients. And we even have some clients that don't want any leads. They're crushing it. They just want to be top of mind, build the biggest brand, have the most awareness around their product, service, or what they do. Even personal branding is really rolling into this, because what if that business owner one day wants to go create a different business? Can they pivot an audience over and help kickstart another business? You see this all the time. Conor McGregor, The Rock, a lot of celebrities, when they drop new products or different things, they utilize their audience to kick it off, and it's like, oh, it's the biggest new brand. Well, this is because they have a huge audience and they can do record sales just leveraging the audience that they've built for years and years and years. So I mentioned the roadmap. This is going to be the biggest game changer. When we get to the end of the conversation with them, we will see where they want to be. If they don't have the budget right now, no problem, we can work with that. But I want to know, what is their true goals and where do they really want to see themselves in social media and digital marketing, those types of things. So we've completely changed our sales process now to get to the end of the conversation and kind of have that like goal. What's the goal? Where do you want to be? What's the best situation? Where do you see yourself? What makes you the most happy? If you could look at the future and see where you're at on social media, what is that? Is it a bunch of followers? Do you care to be on camera? Do you not care? Do you just want sales? So these are a lot of different ways that social media works, right? So these are the things that we need to talk to the client about and figure out what they really want. At the end of this process, we will go into a calculator that I ended up building. This is another part of the process, and it's a yes or no kind of situation. Like, they accept that, but they're going to say, what do you want in the cup? Or how big do you want the cup to be? Do you like the small cup? Do you want the bigger cup? Do you want more options with that? It's kind of like when you go buy a car. Do you want to buy a car that has no power windows, no heated seats, no self-driving, or do you want the fully loaded version of that vehicle? A lot of times people go to the car lot, they'll drive that car, they'll fall in love with the car, but it's just too expensive right now. They got to keep working towards it. So either they go save up some more money so they can buy that car, or maybe they're okay with taking a few less options and taking that little bit lower tier vehicle. It's same engine, same transmission, same amazing vehicle, but with a little less creature comforts. And that's kind of what I want to do in our sales process. I want to show them what all they can have and give them all the options. And then let's pull that back. I think that'll be great for our business because we're helping clients not just choose the bottom package. Now, when I give them the goal plan and the big picture, and this is all the goals you want to get, it's kind of like we're not going to have salespeople anymore. We're going to have concierge that help drive this process for these people, and they get to pick out their plan and build it. I know a lot of people don't know what they should do or how much they should be posting on social media. The answer is pretty easy. As much as humanly possible while scaling ads and everything else, depending on how big you want to grow your business. That's how the biggest businesses in the world are doing it. So I want to show you that in case that's your desires, and then we can work backwards from there. And then we can take away, services and options and talk to you about how we can make it more cost effective. But instead of trying to sell bottom up, we're trying to change it at our agency. We give the most premium service for what their desires are. And then if that doesn't quite fit their budget, we can start helping out with going down from there and downselling. So these are just some things I've been learning a lot about selling and different things in our business. I don't consider myself a salesperson. I'm more of like a content creator, and I just like putting out good content. But these are some really valuable things. This is one of probably the biggest unlocks I've done in business. I think that will help us moving forward in scaling high-speed media. And I wanted to make sure I documented this, shared this information with you guys. And who knows, this may not work, but I think we're going to do a heck of a lot better than what we were doing before. So let me know in the comments below if you're a salesperson or you work in a company that does high ticket sales, $500+ up to a couple $1,000s a month type of a service. I'd be curious how your guys' sales process goes and what's working for you. If you'd like to watch more videos of this or see what our day-to-day looks like here at High Speed Media, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.